Hey everybody, well this is the first video filmed since the bike broke, and look! Let's be accurate, the bike didn't break, it was just the terminal on the battery, and I had a few people comment some things like, you need to get that off and scratch it and blah 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 and do this, and it's like, yes I know, this wasn't a fucking permanent fix I was doing in that video, that was a get me home. I didn't have WD-40 and shit to like clean up the connectors and people sometimes think about it. I've got a fucking tool chest with me. Anyway, only reason I bring it up is to say that it was what I thought it was. It just needed to be cleaned up properly, which is what I did after I got home. Lots of people have been saying, Spicy, the wind has been up for freaking days and we haven't seen a beach video from you. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of times, I've just gone and looked around the beach and I have found nothing. I mean, it's good, it means things aren't getting washed up and things aren't dying, but it's just nothing. And then we've had this prolonged storms and still nothing. But I thought, fuck it, I'll go and have a look today and see what's there. I've got a couple of things to talk about anyway. Okay boys, it's a war on the crows. Tell you how, fly! Jesus, wasn't much traction there. Parking, oh god, I'm parking. Shit, parking, still parking. Like a glove. Okay, be careful, that's something I need to keep in mind. Yeah, people have asked me what happened to Spicy's Hidden Worlds. Obviously nothing's happened to it. I always said that I would never produce nearly as many videos for that channel as I have for this one. But I admit I haven't had a video up in a long time on there, and there is a good reason for that. I did have some footage filmed for a couple of videos, but unfortunately, Jesus, it got lost with the hard drive failure. Fly! Oh, fuck. So basically I lost all the footage I had. It's now winter, so there's not really so much around, and or equally, at the time I was making those videos, I was off work. And for some reason it didn't dawn on me that when I went back to work I wouldn't have nearly enough time to do this shit, let alone do that shit as well. Fly! Corn on the cob, sir, up your bum, sir, alright. So I will be making more videos for it, but over the winter time that's virtually impossible. So don't expect anything from it for a while. And basically the channel's not going to go away, but it will just have videos added to it very sporadically, not very regularly, because as I say, one of these videos will take me, say, a little bit of time to film and then edit, and that it can be done in half a day easily. One of the wildlife videos could take me 2 or 3 days, depending on if I manage to get lucky enough to get what I want on film straight away, then the narration and all, putting it all together, fact checking and stuff like that. I think you can understand why that takes a long time. Nothing, just a load of seaweed. Hang on, there's a fishing float. Which looks like a freshwater fishing float, or I guess they use it in the sea as well. It's all broken. Okay, pull away slowly. Jesus! Well, there wasn't much down there as I suspected, but you can see for yourself there wasn't much down there. Anyway, something else I want to talk about, which I think shouldn't go unmentioned, and it's fucking amazing, is the landing, well, the mission of the Rosetta spacecraft and fillet its little lander to land on that comet. That is fucking impressive. The European Space Agency managed to fire a rocket and a spacecraft into like 300 million miles away or something. They span it around the Earth like so many times first to get up the speed to catch up with this comet. This isn't even the one they were supposed to be going after. They had to change their plans, which meant there wasn't enough battery life, which meant they had to put the spacecraft into a spin and then hibernation, and then it had to refine its location when it got there by taking pictures of the stars and working out where it was to get its orientation to put itself back in direct line with Earth. Fucking amazing. And then they managed to land a freaking fridge-sized lander on it, and it worked. And of course the outcome of this is we might discover a bit more information about as to where life started and how it started and all that stuff. So that is pretty fucking amazing. I mean, you know, space generally it's to do with America. And admittedly they did put a man on the moon, and I'm not going to get into the fucking conspiracy theories, you have to be an absolute douchebag to think they didn't. Now, I'm not saying that was easy, I'm just saying from the outward look, it seems like it was an easier task. But of course they didn't have the technology they do, all the understanding they do today. But then when the Rosetta spacecraft was made and launched, that was 10 years ago. It took 10 years to get there. The technology on board this thing is pretty far behind. Its highest resolution camera is 4 megapixels. 4. So basically we actually did it 10 years ago and we only know it worked at this point. That's pretty damn amazing. Now obviously as English and Europeans, we generally don't do the whole, you know, fucking Europe, yeah, or England, yeah. Well, apart from when it's like football. You know, not in the way that America's just like, yeah, America, best country in the world. And it's like, okay, keep saying it. But this is something I think we can definitely be pretty proud of. Just as a human race, let's forget about countries and all that shit. To achieve what we've done, that is pretty freaking cool. Now she looks. People who pull up to junctions looking left and don't look right. So you don't know if they're going to stop or if they're going to pull out straight into you and then look at you as they're doing so. That's another quick one actually. I rev my engine because it's close at hand. It's basically as loud as my horn is, although it's not as piercing, I guess. But I've seen comments on videos, you know, of situations that have happened on the road, and the bike has been criticised for revving rather than beeping, and I was just like, are you fucking for real? I mean, depending on your bike, the bike's going to be considerably bloody louder than a horn. Although I suppose that actually there is a logical argument against the revving idea, is the fact that you could be like full throttling it, holding the clutch in, and someone knocks you or something, you know, in traffic, and you just boom. Well, depending on what you're riding, either that's going to be exciting, or you're dead. I need to have like a rev horn off. Let's see how this goes. Clutch in. Okay, actually, I would have said that the horn is audible through it, but I think there's more concussion with the exhaust because it's a lower frequency. If you haven't got a clue about what I was just talking about, you probably think I'm right. Anyway, so that's what happened with the battery. That's why I haven't really made any beach videos. That's what happened to Spice's Hidden Worlds. Fuck me, aren't we amazing at the things we put into space? And do your rev or do your beep? Fuck, that's a lot of things to talk about in one vlog. This is going to be a twat to edit, and I'm now just making it longer. And I'm now sat there editing it, looking at it, going, why are you still speaking? Shut up. Just shut up. You can't make me shut up, can you? Portsmouth something arse centre? Arse centre? What the fuck? Catalyst? Need my banana.